So I never had an issue with anxiety. Not growing up, not as a kid, not as a teenager, not as an adult. I think my first issue with anxiety was in my 40s. And I started having panic attacks. For whatever, I think now it was most likely the drug use. You know, I was doing a lot of painkillers, I was doing a lot of steroids, doing cocaine, doing just, you know, a wild shit, you know? And I think when I started to try to come off, and the stress of the doc, you know, getting prescriptions and, you know, that whole, then finding them and then selling them, and it was just a stressful ass time, you know. At then you don't think that way, you know. You're just so programmed on getting the drug and getting high, you know. Like I tell people, man, if you could chase money, life, whatever you want, like a drug addict chases his drugs, man, I'm telling you right now, you'd be rich as hell. Because I know heroin addicts, they wake up without $1 to their name, but a $200 a day heroin habit. And guess what? They get their heroin. I guarantee they get it, you know, by any means necessary. And that's how people should treat life. But back to the anxiety. So I started having these panic attacks, and, you know, I get kicked out of the methadone clinic, and, you know, I kick methadone. I'm sober for the most part. I dabble here, I dabble there in stupid shit, but I'm never really on nothing. And then someone gives me some Xanax, and I was like, wow, okay. You know what? This shit does the trick. I don't have to worry about, you know, cravings. I didn't worry about anything, you know, because I was tripping. I was like, I wanted to do pills. I was wanting to get high. I was wanting to do this. But the Xanax, it kept me from wanting all that, you know. But that's when I took maybe, you know, 1 or 2 milligrams a night. Well, as for me, I'm obsessive, and I overdo all the shit I do. So I start taking Xanax in the morning, and then in the evening, and then I just start going crazy, you know. I get up to like 10 bars a day, and I mean, they're right there in Mexico. They're easy to get. There ain't no issue. So, you know, I had the full. It was a problem. Plus, you know, I get prescribed Xanax, so I thought I was all good, you know. And eventually, man, so much shit happened. I got arrested a few times. I don't remember, you know, half the shit I went through. You know, I'd go somewhere, I'd have receipts in my pocket, but I wouldn't remember the shit. I wouldn't remember going. I wouldn't remember saying shit. I wouldn't remember doing shit. It was tearing me up. So, damn, get out of the road, idiot. So I start to realize, you know what? This Xanax is a problem. And I tried to kick it. And the habit I had was way too high, man. And kicking it was just a horrible, horrible idea. I you know, I had a seizure. I was all jacked up, even worse than before. But eventually, I got it down. I chilled out, and then what I did was I traded my script for my doctor. I told him, what was going on with the Xanax, and he prescribed me Ativan. So now when I'm like that, I take like maybe 1-2 milligrams of Ativan a day. And for some reason, I know they're both benzos, but for some reason the Ativan, it doesn't give me that fucking that feeling that the Xanax did. It's a lot different. I'm not sure why. It doesn't seem as strong. I remember the shit the next day. With Xanax, I straight mind erased. When I take Xanax, after a bar or two, I'm in autopilot, man. So now I don't even need to take it every day. So do I have an issue? I don't know, man. I'm so sick of, you're an addict, you're this, you're that, man. I do what I got to do to get through every day in life. You know what I'm saying? And if I need to add a van or two, so be it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It helps me at night. Sometimes I'm just, my mind. If you have a mind like mine, it does not stop running. It's constant. I'll think of, what are you thinking about? Man, I couldn't even give you the list of things I just thought about. It's that, overwhelming. And I don't know why. It's just how I'm wired. Some people are just wired like that. Some people need meds to calm down. I mean, do I need it? Of course I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some nights I do. Maybe some nights I just take it because I don't want to deal with my brain. But either way, I'm not doing nothing illegal. I'm taking my medication as prescribed. And that's it. So yeah, that's my Xanax story. I've only been on Xanax, benzos, maybe 3-4 years. And the last year or so has been, a straight kind of chill. I mean, I ain't gonna bullshit you guys, man. Every once in a while, not recently. It's been a good probably month or two, but I have fucked up and just went way too overboard with the Xanax, and because someone would have bars or someone, you know what I mean, and I take Ativan already, so this ain't gonna. But for some reason, it's the Xanax. The Ativan is chill, man. It just chills me out, Xanax turns me into a maniac for some reason. I don't know. I don't get it. They're supposed to be benzos. They're supposed to be this. They're supposed to be, that way. They're supposed to be both the same. So, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know Xanax is not really a drug for me. I go crazy. I act a fool. Ativan. I'm chill with Ativan, man. It works for me. And am I off benzos? Not completely. Every so often I take them. Do I think? I go days without them, so 2-3 days I go without benzo, so I don't think I'm physically addicted. I'm a little mentally addicted because there's things that I go through or things that'll happen that I'll be like, damn, I'm gonna take me one because I'm stressing out. But yeah, so if you're having issues with Xanax, tell your doctor to give you some Ativan. Worked for me. Los vemos, mi gente.